that opening. But anyway, hello, everybody. This is our first version, the first loquacious version since Scott got back from Russia. And I'd like to thank Tyler McConnell and Laurie Spencer for filling in the Friday night time slot. They're going to continue doing stuff separately, from what I understand. So if you want to keep up with their activities, you can find them on Twitter. And thanks again for doing a great job. They're both extremely talented, and we were lucky to have them while we had them. How you doing tonight, Scott?
I'm doing great, thanks. Yourself?
I am just ducky, thank you. You have been extremely busy even for you lately. Today we published a new article in Substack, Waging Peace in Search of the Russian Soul. We got into it a little bit the other day on Tuesday, but that's the lightning round, so we're a bit more limited for time. So tonight we can have a more relaxed accounting of your trip. And I encourage folks to go to our Substack at scottritterextra.com. If you don't subscribe already, why not? You should. You can read great content like this. And it was quite a trip. Now, what's the significance of that picture there that we see? That's Mother Russia. What was the name of the two things? You were talking about it in your article, how you paid a lot of attention to the juxtaposition between these two things.
Well, when you show up at Mamayev Kurgan, which is the name of the hill, I think we got to put it into a perspective. This is in the city of Volgograd, used to be called Stalingrad. Used to be called Tsaritsyn before that, but Stalingrad was the name of the city when one of the most bloody, violent, decisive battles of the Second World War was fought on its territory. The German armies sought to seize the city. They initiated the fight for the city in August of 1942 with a aerial bombardment that some estimated killed 40,000 people the first day. And it began a battle that basically systemically destroyed the city. The Germans came literally this close to seizing Stalingrad, but there were places where the Soviets held on, and one of these was Mamayev Kurgan, this hill, and it just was the scene of some of the most bloody fighting of that battle. And afterwards, when the battle ended, decision was made to, when they were going to commemorate this battle, the significance of this battle, that Mamayev Kurgan was going to be the site that a suitable monument would be put up. Now, it's actually a series of monuments as you approach. The big monument, of course, is Mother Russia Calls. It's the giant statue of Mother Russia with her hand gesturing forward with the sword, waving the Russian people, the Russian nation, forward to fight. It's a you can't. You can't understand how huge this statue is until you get there and you see it. It just dominates. It's there at the top. But to get there, you have to walk up a flight of stairs. You're flanked by monuments all the step of the way, and every monument has significance. Every monument tells a story about the horrific nature, the heroic nature of this fighting. When you get to the top of the stairs, you're met with a statue of a grieving mother, and it's called the Grieving Mother, and she's holding the body of her dead son, and there's a pond, and the pond is filled with water that's supposed to be her tears. Very powerful statue. And then when I was there, I just juxtaposed the two, and I'm sure many people have done this before me. It's not as though I'm the world's most creative photographer, but I tried to get a photograph of the Grieving Mother with Mother Russia Calls in the background, and just the comparison of the two. You have two images of a mother, one calling the nation forward to stand up and fight the enemy, calling her sons forward. Then the other one grieving at the sacrifice from that, and so I just thought that that would be a because one of the sub themes of a major sub theme of this journey, in an effort to describe Russia, to capture Russia for an American audience, is how do you define the Russian soul? This was a theme throughout the entire trip, an effort to get a grip on this. And that photograph, I think, goes a long way to addressing that issue. The purpose of the article that was published today was to introduce the American audience to my fellow travelers, Alexander Zhiryanov and Ilya Valkov. There's a photograph of us. I'll talk about that photo in a minute. But Alexander is just one of the most remarkable human beings you'd ever meet. He's a man of huge talent, energy, vision. I don't think he ever sleeps. He is just going the whole time. Great humor, great intellect, but he doesn't speak English that great. Speaks it better than I speak Russian, but between his poor, bad English and my bad Russian, we weren't going to be able to communicate too effectively. So he brought along Ilya Volkov, who is the brother of, and there's Ilya and I sitting next to each other in the stands on the 7th of May rehearsal parade for the Victory Day parade on 9 May. Full-scale rehearsal. What you saw during that was exactly what you saw 2 days later. But Ilya sort of, he lived in the United States for a little while. He studied in England, and he had, he was well-grounded in the English language, although you wouldn't call him a simultaneous translator. He, Ilya is like all of us. When there's no pressure, you do okay, but as soon as the pressure comes on, you stumble a little bit on the language. He'd be the first to admit it. But what Ilya became was our guide to the Russian soul. I mean, he was literally the embodiment of the Russian soul. How to define Ilya? You can't, and that's one of the problems. Is how do you define the Russian soul? You can't. But Ilya, his job was to be our guide. And about that photograph, Ilya saw that I was, I captured the moment that I was reflecting on it. So he told me a story about, I guess it's from his childhood or something, but his father may have told him about, how a Russian mother raises the children, but as the child develops, the mother diminishes. And, that's the way it is. As the children grow older and get stronger, the parents get older and get weaker. And what he said is that's because the mother transfers her essence to the child. And so when you reflect on that, what he said about the mother giving herself to the child, and you look at those two statues of the mother having raised the child, beckoning them forward to the front lines, basically saying, you must rise up, you must go, you must fight, you must defend the motherland. And then the consequences of that, the child that you poured your essence into dead, and you're grieving. It was just I thought it just showed that this guy, Ilya,
it was very touching. You were writing about how his eyes were glued to you the whole time because he understood, how passionately you were searching for this soul of Russia, and he wanted to kind of experience it through you and see what you were reacting to. And he noticed
the whole trip was this way. I mean, Ilya watched everything I did, and I mean, sometimes I'd give an interview, and I'd come out of the interview, and he'd be standing there, literally tears in his eyes, and he'd give you a big hug, and he'd say, thank you for capturing the Russian soul. What the hell did I do? I just gave an interview. But he's like, you gave the right answer. And so I think we were on a journey together, and that was the amazing part of it, is that he's Russian, and he was trying.
So which one is Alexander in this picture?
Well, Alexander's on the left, my left, in the photo. He's in the black, and then
Okay.
Ilya is on the right, wearing the white hoodie. The significance of this photo, the reason why I put it in the article, um, is as we left Volgograd, um, we had spent some time in big cities. We spent some quality time in Moscow. And in Moscow, I mean, Moscow is just an amazing city. It's modern and everything. And this is the Ruski restaurant. It's on the 85th floor of this huge Russian skyscraper, part of this new complex that they've built in Moscow. And it's a great restaurant, great food, great view.
I can see that.
And the people that are there are, the Russian elite, the high society, living it up. And there's nothing wrong with that. My God, celebrate life if you can. But I put that in there because, Moscow and St. Petersburg and the big cities are populated by, just like American cities are. You go to New York City, you have an urban elite, people who live a different life and sometimes aren't very appreciative of the people who work on a daily basis to make that life possible. So as we're driving out of Volgograd, where we leave the city, and it's an amazing city. I mean, it stretches 110 kilometers down the river. It's the longest city in the world. And so we're driving out, and you enter the Don Steppes, the Don River. You got the Volga River, you got the Don River. In between, you have farmland. This just immense flat steppe plain where they grow the rye, they grow the wheat, and these are giant fields. And you have these giant harvest combines. You've seen them in America, the big combines. And Ilya was sort of the DJ for this part of the trip. This was we joked about our tour in Russia being planes, trains, and automobiles, because we spent a lot of time on airplanes, a lot of time on trains, and a lot of time in automobiles. So we were in the automobile section of this journey, and Ilya was our DJ, and he plays this song, and it's called the combiners, the men who drive the combines, and it's by this Russian artist, Igor, and I can't remember his last name, but Rastrayev or something of that nature. But
right.
Yeah,
we linked more info about him in the article.
Yeah, he's. I mean, apparently he's just a street performer. He's talented. But in 2009, he was in his friend's living room in Volgograd, working class. And he plays the button accordion, and he sat there and he performed the song, the Combiners, and his friend videotaped it and he posted it on YouTube, and it went absolutely viral. And now this song is a huge hit. But he played it, and as Ilya did throughout the trip, he played the song, and he turned to me and he said, "This song is Russia. Everything's Russia to Ilya," which is okay. I'm not making fun of him. I'm just saying this guy is so passionate about his country and about Russia. But this song is Russia, and he does what. There he is, Ilya talking to Vika. But he pulls out his smartphone and he does whatever you do on your smartphone. And next thing you know, bing! I got a message, and it's the lyrics in English of this song. And I just was taken about how passionate the song was, and about the lyrics themselves, about working class Russia. Because I'm a big fan of Bruce Springsteen. You know this. And Bruce Springsteen songs, born down in a dead man's town. I mean, he writes songs about the working class and about, America, the rough and tumble part of America where the economy isn't necessarily going gangbusters. So you listen to this song, and it's about about the working class and how proud they are. I mean, these are guys that, I think most American working class, I think redneck America, I think this could become a country and western song, because it's basically telling urban Russia to stick it in your ear. We don't do Facebook, he said. We don't do emo. We don't hang out in the cool stores. We don't do the internet. we drink, and they give the chemical formula for ethanol, which, is moonshine. We drink moonshine. But we know every screw on that tractor. We get up in the morning, our working day is, dolga, 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 long, 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 long. It was a great song. I thought that it captured, the other side of Russia, the people that get up early in the morning, feed the pigs, then go out and harvest the wheat, and are just the salt of the earth. So I thought,
was that moonshine what you were drinking out there at Lake Baikal? I was just showing some footage for that. Let's see if we can find
that was not moonshine. That was, well, I guess it was Buryat moonshine. The Buryat people are they are Buddhist.
What's that? Tell us what that is there.
Pardon?
Can you tell us what that food is there? I mean,
this is our barbecue. These are the fish that you see there are fish that were captured right there, caught that day in Lake Baikal. This is just your traditional, Siberian fare. This is tea.
Vika was all bundled up. It must have been very cold there. Look at her.
It was cold. The lake was frozen. We got there on a hovercraft, but so this was a nice little thing. But the alcohol is cedar infused, so it's Buryat moonshine with cedar and some other spices and flavors in it. Powerful.
Well, you told me on Tuesday they watch our podcast in Russia. It's popular. So cheers, everybody.
Everything. Yeah,
while
cheers.
You're enjoying your moonshine. That's fantastic. Now, we also, I don't know if maybe we should spread it out throughout the show, because we have a bunch of photos and videos of your trip. There are so many different things you did.
Well, keep in mind that every week I'll be publishing a different article that focuses on different aspects. The purpose of this article was to introduce to America two very remarkable Russian men, Alexander Zhurianov and Ilya Volkov. Russia should be proud of these guys. They were the perfect ambassadors of the Russian nation. And I think Americans should get to know these guys as well, because they epitomize and personify the Russian people.